Over the past year, we have restored this office space by restumping and replacing damaged softwood flooring. We lifted the ceiling up to its original 4-meter height, and we built custom cabinetry from scratch, including casting our own cement benchtop. In this project, we install our benchtop and feature wall, pulling together the vision we have for this room. Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are starting the process of building out our office benchtop and the feature wall that's going to be put into that little hole thing. What are you laughing at?
Crevice.
It's a little crevasse.
Joinery opening.
A little crevasse. But to start the process, we need to put the cement benchtop in place, and she is
huge.
She's a big girl. She's big.
2 meters long.
2 meters long, very heavy. If you want to see how we created this cement benchtop, you can go back. We'll tag the video where we made our benchtop. We take you through that process, but we didn't want to show you again, so we're at the point of revealing it. And we have a really exciting feature wall coming up as well. I don't know how we're going to polish this or get it in place. That is Future Us's problem.
That's it, because it's huge and it's heavy.
Hugely heavy.
Oh, wow. That's cool. You've got the best one in the house, mate.
Yeah, I do. Whoa, it's so smooth.
I definitely don't need to do a big polish on this whatsoever.
That's awesome.
Really just get that smoothness down.
Wow, that's very cool. Yeah, you don't want to take it too far back. It's just beautiful. I've got my Vegemite toast. I'm ready to go.
Eat on the go.
Eating on the go. So, we're working on this feature wall.
So we played around with a few shapes on this wall. We really wanted to do a herringbone, which we thought was going to look really nice with our flooring that we're going to be putting in, our engineered flooring. However, it's very difficult with the boards that we're using. So we've got all of our offcuts from our ceiling lining board, which is a 140 tongue and groove board. They have 140 mil face, or they have a center V groove, which gives it a 70 mil and 70 mil, which is a little bit busier, not for us, but we're going to go with this nice big one. Due to the tongue and groove, to try and do a herringbone with this type of board is really hard to join the ends. You'd have to chamfer it, create a tongue or create a groove. It's definitely doable, but it's a huge amount of work with a router to get all those bits to lock in together, so not doing that. Instead, we're going to go with a chevron pattern. So much easier to do it with straight 45 cuts. You just have a vertical line and then you just work your 45s as a V all the way out.
So we have our sconces chosen for this wall. So one thing we do have to do is find where our electrical cord is, pull it out and make sure we know where that is so we can cut the hole in the lining board as well. So we have a sconce going either side, and in the middle we have planned for either a big piece of art or a mirror or something. We're not sure, we'll play with that later. And then this is going to be the colour of all of our cabinetry. So we've kind of got some plans in place.
So to put these boards up on the wall, we're just going to be using liquid nails and some pins, because it's really not hanging from anywhere, it's got anything supporting off of it. We just need that glue to glue it to the plaster. So pretty straightforward installation. We can use a laser to get our nice vertical lines right, and pretty much install most of our full boards first, and then start to infill the edges after that, because they can get quite tricky. But we're going to start cutting what we know first, which is just our full boards, and then we'll pretty much work around the edges. And also, cool design here, which Samantha's brilliant mind has come up with, has going to wrap it over the top of the underside of the bulkhead. So it's actually going to use the offcut, which hits that internal corner, and wrap it back around. So we've got that continuous chevron right over the top. So really cool little feature there. I'm excited to try and implement that. Definitely a little bit tricky when it comes to those angles and getting that right, but I think if we get it right, the effect will look really cool. Turns out that 99% was only 99% wrong, because it was on this side. Alright, so now that we've cut all of our main pieces for the lining boards at the back here, we've got all of our full pieces nice and easy. To make our life easier, I'm going to seal this new concrete bench top down to our base cabinets. So this is exactly the same process as the last two that we've poured before. One thing to note with this one is that I tried something a little bit different with the installation. I did a face coat, which meant that my first mix of concrete didn't have any fibre in it. It was literally just the concrete sand oxide mix. And it meant that when I polished it down, it really has this nice smooth surface and it doesn't show any of the little lines that I got on the last couple due to that little glass fibre showing through in the mix. So
it's definitely the best one we've done so far.
Yeah, really happy with how this turned out. I didn't tap it as much, so it's got little tiny little bubble holes in it, but it really came up nicely and I'm super happy with it, especially considering the size. It was twice as much as the other ones. But if you want to know more information about these, please check out our previous video, which we'll provide a link to, and that goes through the type of mix that we do, the company that supplies all of the materials, and practically a step-by-step process of how to pour your own bench tops.
So we're going to glue this down and we do have to seal it still. So we're going to seal it in situ. So we're going to glue it down now. It just means that we can start installing the lining boards and then we'll seal it tonight. We need to do 3 or 4 coats of the sealer with about 2 hours, 1 hour in between.
If it dries off, it's about 1 hour in between each coat, and at least 3 is enough to penetrate and provide lots of protection for the concrete.
Yeah, let's get started.
Always good every now and then, put a little bit of oil in your gun. Otherwise it dries out and you get all that dust and it can damage the inside. This helps keep it nice and lubricated. A bit low, that one.
You said it didn't have to be at the top?
Well, no, but not halfway down the bottom.
Oh my god! You've got issues. Sides here. So while I do the sides, Brad's going to start working on that top overhanging bit. But all we have to do is cut down our sides here. So I've done one, which will go like this. And I just need to do a whole bunch more.
Okay, so we got pretty far with the timber that we had left over from our ceiling boards. We tried to use as much sort of sizable offcuts and design this around getting much usage out of those wasted boards as possible, but we did run just a touch short. There's a lot of wastage from doing chevron angle cuts, and sometimes a triangle doesn't work with a tongue and groove, so you've got to do the opposite, which means you just don't get the best use out of the boards. So look, by and large, we actually did really well with using up all of that extra material that we had left over, and now I really only need to get one more board, so we'll just order another one with our other materials that we've got coming along, and then we need to confirm for all of our other bits and pieces to finish the fit out. But otherwise, really close. So now we can get on to doing some sanding and some patching and cleaning this all up and getting it ready for paint.
Good morning, everyone, and it is such a beautiful morning. We have the sun pouring in our beautiful big windows. It's giving me a little bit of a glimpse into what it will be like living at the front here with these gorgeous double windows here. I know, I can't wait. We've worked so hard for it, and I can't wait for the moment where I just get to sit and enjoy. But for now, we're still working hard. So this morning I'm going to be working on this feature wall. I think it's going to add some really beautiful texture and a point of interest in this wall. And my plan is to paint all of this cabinetry and potentially the ceiling as well, in like a stony, deep, moody blue. I think offices are such a great place to bring in those like moody, rich, deep colours. So it will be kind of blended in with the cabinetry, and we'll end up with this really beautiful texture rather than seeing all the lines on the white. Today I'm going to fill all the holes. So I'm going to be using the flexible wood filler rather than the fine wood filler. So these are the two that we have been using. We used the fine wood filler, which is this one here, for our ceiling because the holes were really small, and it just filled them beautifully. They just really seamlessly went into the roof. But when we have deeper holes, deeper cracks, joins of cabinetry, we use our wood filler. So the fine filler is really for hairline cracks, really tiny bratter holes, and our wood filler is for those deeper ones, so we don't have to go back over. We want to reduce the amount of times we have to use our filler. We don't want to be wasting time doing it a second or a third time, which we have had to do before when we use the wrong filler for the wrong project. So that is something to keep in mind, and make sure you're using the right products to save your own time and energy. So I'm going to be using our wood filler, and I'm just going to go through all of the pinholes that we put in it, and I'm going to go and connect all of those joins so we don't have these lines here going this way. We want to just keep our zigzag lines and make everything else seamlessly roll into each other. So that is the plan. I'm going to see how well I can execute that. So we're going to be filling it, and then eventually I'll sand it. I'll just hit it with the orbital sander, and then hopefully we can then paint it our stony blue color, which is really exciting. So let's get to it. Now that our wood filler is dry here on our feature wall in the office, we are ready to sand it back. I've got here a orbital sander connected to a vac to reduce the dust in the room as we sand. And we've got our final pieces coming for the missing spots up here in the corner. They're coming next week, so I just want to prepare the space so that when we get the rest of the materials, we can kind of finish this area off. Aside from that, we do need to put our end panels on either side just to make sure that it looks really finished and put together, and then we'll be pretty much done with this area. I've got this far through. It just takes such a long time because you have to brush in between each lining board. But we have to go. My mum's birthday is today and we're running late already. But there's just renovation life. I wish I could finish it, but we're gonna have to finish it when we get home this afternoon. So I'm gonna wrap this in plastic just to stay wet for the next few hours. And when we get home tonight, I'll finish off this wall. I'm back from my mum's birthday party. It was really fun. It was lovely to see everyone. I ate a lot of cake and a lot of food, and I'm ready to go painting again. It's taking so long, but it's starting to look really good. So we're gonna keep at it and see how it goes. The end panels are up. It's looking so good. I've had these in the back room for, I'm not joking, like a year probably.
No longer.
They're so beautiful. They've got a glass top. It's a fluted glass top that sits on them like this. And I'm dying to see them up. So we're gonna screw them up and it'll be ready for when our electrician comes to fit everything off. That mostly everything is painted now. I think I have 2 more doors drying that will go at the end there, but aside from that everything is painted and dried and in place and we're ready to install the hardware, which is really exciting. It's so nice to see all the pieces come together. You can see that the sconces are up and that I brought in some artwork and some mirrors and just to play with that like gold highlights against the blue, because boy does the gold pop against this blue-grey colour. So I've got with me some hardware that I got from a reclaimed warehouse called Renovators Paradise, where they reclaim materials pulled from houses and sites that are getting demoed or renovated and they're just getting rid of a whole lot of material. You can go in there and ruffle through stuff, and this stuff is good. You do have to usually clean it up a bit. These are handles we had to clean with Brasso, but they're pretty good. They've come up quite well, you can see. So they're pretty simple. There's nothing much to them. They're just a simple round handle. So they're gonna go on the doors, on the lower doors, but they really do pop against the blue. So they're gonna go on all 8 of our lower cabinets, and then we'll get something else for the upper doors. I haven't found anything that is calling to me yet, but I'm still on the lookout. So let's get these installed and see the place come together. beautiful office with our new feature wall. I think that the colour has come up exactly the way we had hoped for it to be. A beautiful, muddy, moody office colour. The way that this cement benchtop fits in, we really love. It's so soft and smooth, and I love the texture of it. Just want to like tap it all day.
And the brass as well, like it's such a great contrasting for our metal throughout this home, and I think the blue is going to really work well with our floors and our nice sort of neutral tone wall colour. I think you nailed it, right?
Oh, thanks. So next up in this room is going to be our herringbone flooring, and that's going to go in like a week or so.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, next long weekend that we've got, we're going to throw some big 4 days at it.
We have a whole heap of painting to do, and then we're really up to the finishes. We have lots of bits and pieces we need to do, even still on this cabinetry wall. Oh, can I try?
I don't know who would have caused that.
More little wall. So we still have lots of little bits and pieces to do.
So we are really on the home stretch now. It's very exciting.
Yeah, we're pulling it all together. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.